Hello, willkommen, and welcome back to Germany, where we are on a mission to make a wonderful transport empire in Transport Fever 2. In this Germany map, you can see the whole of the country we have here, and when we left the last lesson, we had a bit of a problem. You can see how busy this station is becoming, and although we've only got a few goods coming in and out, we have quite a few very slow trains using it. And those trains are doing a lot of waiting, which I don't like because waiting costs me money and I want my money. And so we need to do something about that. So in the last episode, I asked for some thoughts, some tips on how we might solve the problem. And one of you came back with an idea, which was to have a sort of double slip and a third slip, double slip over here solution, which is kind of what we have down here. We have once the trains have come here, they can choose either platform from this point and this point. If we were to make a slip here, then it's possible that we would be able to get the trains to queue within there and do that. But this side of the station is not where we have the problem. This side of the station is where we have the problem. So what I'm thinking we can do is we can bring this track out straight here. Bring these two tracks together enough for a train to queue, put in a double slip for them to be able to cross over, and then another one over here so we can get trains to come over, and that's going to allow some queuing action and trains to get out without blocking the other trains in line. Because you can see this train here has still not left the station, and it is causing me to worry that we're going to start losing some money here. We are doing okay for money, so we're not panicking. But I would like, of course, we'd all like more money, right? So let's try and solve that problem first. So we have, I'm going to 4-track this section here. We've got effectively 4 tracks within the station. So what we're going to do is basically have a 4-track section here. I'm just going to pause the game actually. That train has not yet come out, but it more than likely will not for a while. And I'm going to run this track along, and then we're going to spill it out over here like so. So we'll keep going with this, just move this back a little bit, and we do that. So now we have 4 tracks going a decent distance out of there. So we have trains that can use multiple platforms. Now we could just separate, and this might be the smartest thing to do here. We have ore and coal coming down from there, but we have the tools line here now. There aren't that many trains doing that machines line, but it is coming in and out quite frequently because we only have a short section of track that's doing it, but we only have the 1 train on there. So it seems silly to have a double track section just for the 1 train, although we could run a bi-directional goods line. That's definitely possible. And if we did that, that would allow us to have, basically have a section of track for each one. But I don't know if I like just 4 tracking. I like it when it's passenger and freight, but with just that, I want to solve something here. So what I'm thinking here is that at this point we'll connect in this line, and then we can have a crossover. And what we'll do is we'll push some trains over to one side, some trains down to the left hand side as we looked at it there, and that will then separate, and they'll be able to queue down here without hogging too much. And then they've only got to get, then hopefully they're up and running by the time they get out here. So let's just try it. Let's see how that works. So we'll go in here, and we will maybe here where we've got this one there, we can bring that over with a decent length switch, and we'll just get rid of this section here, and then at the same point here we can bring that over so it's parallel with this set there, and then we've got our way in. So now we have a section that is double tracked. We'll just get rid of this signal here, because that is going to cause us a problem, because if a train stops there, it's going to block the whole junction. So, but we do have one protecting that way, which is fabulous, and the trains can come out here and then go down there, We can then put some signals down to break this up, allow... Oh, that was not what we wanted. There. We can put this on that side going that way, so that allows us to have a train queuing in that section. And then what we need to be able to do then is decide at this point here which platform they're going to go into. So we'll pop in a double crossover here if it will allow. It's not going to allow, so we might have to move that a bit further back, right to there. And then we will put the signal on the right hand side to choose that track. So that means that they can choose between the two tracks. They will have already made their way down here and split off, so we can put the coal on one side and the ore on the other. So first of all, let's have a look at our coal line. So our coal line currently is using terminal 2. So we'll manage this line, and we want it to 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll get rid of 1 and 2. It's on terminal 3. That's fine. And then the ore line, where are you? So the ore line, I'm going to manage that and change it to 1. And then say go to 1, 2, but not 3, 4, and 5. So what that means is if I look at, so I've got the ore line, you can see coming and using that line. And then I have the coal line using this one here, which should work out well. They do merge further down, but hopefully they're up at speed, and we have less queuing for those. We do then have to check the terminals. So we have a spare terminal, so we can pop the Hamburg machines on that one, and we have the tools and the ore using the same. Now that's a drop off and that's a pickup, so that's fine. So we're not sharing any space there. So I think that's working out. Let's get this episode on the road. So we have a new setup. We have to see. I'm going to speed the game up a little bit and see if we get the same kind of problem. So we can see this ore train coming in. This train is no longer interfered with. It can come out freely and is getting to speed. Now we didn't sort out the signal as we approach, but we do have this one already here. We can basically we'll just drop it behind here, allowing for that there, and then we just need to get rid of this signal. Oh, so you see it has stopped a bit further down, but this train is going at speed now, and hopefully we'll be out of the way soon enough. That wasn't too bad. We have a crossover here, which... Oh, a random bit of track. What is that doing? Let's get rid of that. I mean, we have a crossover here, which I don't think is necessary. Yeah, we could maybe do with some more block sections. That's the only thing stopping them now. The distance between the signals is what stopped that one there. So it's stopped there, and it's waiting for this train to get beyond that signal, and then it's going to start going. So I think where could we go? We could potentially push this one a bit further up towards that signal there, and that will allow us to pop in another signal somewhere down here. So far, I think that is an improvement. I mean, of course it is. We've got more track, right? We've got more track. That's got to be an improvement. I think the only way we're really going to solve it properly. Let's have a look at what's going on here. My autosave is just kicking in, so everything is frozen. But you see, this train is going that way, so that coal train has not blocked the other coal train, obviously, as you'd expect. Yeah, it seems to be flowing a bit better, to be honest. It does seem to be flowing that way. So I'm quite happy with that. We are now at 12 million in the bank, but we need to repay our loan quick, you know. We took a lot out to make some investments in the episode because you've got to speculate to accumulate in this game. And I am liking the look of this station now. Things are looking quite clear. And we really want to ramp up steel production. Why do we want to ramp up steel production? Well, our steel is being shipped all the way across the map here on this lovely line to this machines factory. This machines factory is going to gobble up that steel and our planks and ship those machines all the way to the capital city, which is down here. Oh, I've lost it. Where's Berlin gone? I followed it the wrong way. Down here. So we can actually ship machines down to Berlin. We are already shipping a whole heap of food. But Berlin has a big demand for machines, 119. And also Potsdam has a demand for 50. And we can supply those right away. We have bread potentially being brought up this way. On this line, we are making a little bit of money delivering those machines down. That train is collecting machines from here because Hamburg also needs machines, so that needs 92. So we're getting near to 300 demand for machines for Hamburg, Berlin and Potsdam. We need to do something about that. So we need to really ramp up our machines production here. I'm sure it won't be the only machines factory that we will use, but we definitely need to do it. If we have a look here, we have Hamburg, Potsdam and Berlin sharing the current output. Nowhere near the demand that is in the town, but at least they are getting that way. So far we have not shipped anything to Potsdam yet, but it will go. And we have shipped only 20% to Berlin. Suppliers wise, we are shipping 100 steel and we have transported 100 steel. So that is positive, and that makes me wonder why we are only at 56. We've got loads of planks stored here, and just a few steel left, but hopefully we've got a steel train on the way. So let's have a look. What is the rate? I need to remind myself what the rate of the steel line is from our lovely steel factory. So going that way, Meppen steel planks, we've got a rate of 97. We've got 2 trains on here. We have the lovely Borsig with a full wagon of steel on there, train number 12, and we have another train full of steel waiting to go, and we already have 48 waiting at the platform, so we are going to churn through it. We are producing more, 130 compared to our demand of 100, so this steel factory is ready to go higher if we can get more demand from this machines factory. Now we need those deliveries to come in. When those deliveries come in, we are absolutely going to hit production. We've got the shipment demand that will be increasing when that new amount comes in, but we are actually losing planks and machines on here. We do not have enough capacity, so temporarily we need to build some capacity in here while we wait for those 2 trains to come. So let's stick in a what can we do on the side here? Yes, I'm okay with doing it on this side. We can stick in an entrance here, or a large main with 80 cargo items there. So we'll go the large main building and we'll stick that on there. And that's going to just keep hold of those machines because we need that transport percentage to go up and we can't afford for it to be being lost. So at the moment we do have a problem because Berlin and Potsdam are not receiving anything. We were losing some there, and nothing is being produced currently because we've got no steel in and we're waiting for the steel train to come by. But when it does, we have the Hamburg machines line, which has a rate of only 35. So this is the problem of why we've needed this warehouse temporarily. So we're producing 60, and I suspect this is going to go up to 100. But we have a machines line which has got a rate of 35. So we need to manage this vehicle first of all. And bear in mind we've got a capacity of, what's the capacity on this train? We've got 15 wagons with a capacity of 60. So our machines, actual machines train, well, really could do with approaching that. So we've only got 6, 8 on there at the moment. We could do with 7 boxcars more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're still at mediocre. We've got a 60 capacity, and we can bang that on. That gives us a rate of 66 now. We're still, at the moment, that will do enough because we are producing 63, but I think that transport number is going to go up. We've got another load of steel coming in here, and that is going to ramp up the production here, and we don't want to lose that. So let's get that going. Are we going to go blue? Have we got too much on the platform? Not yet. Not yet. We might actually need maybe better than a warehouse here would have been a second platform, and we could split those off. Yes, that's what we should have done. So let's do that. So let's quickly do that, and then we'll buy another train, because I think we need to keep up with the production rate of the factory. So I'm going to add a cargo building because I like that the end here matches up, and we can, let's stick in another one of these. I feel like that makes sense. And I'm actually going to, we need to split this onto a different line. In fact, well, we need to connect it first. So we're going to need to delete some of this here, and then reconnect that in. And then we need an ability to cross over in both directions. And we are all set. We can hit play again, and then we can split this on to a different terminal. So now those trains will use the other lines, and just for good measure, we'll allow them to use both platforms, whichever one is free. But we will, I need to measure the line, but we'll give them different terminals, and that splits the stored cargo, you see, onto each line. And with that, looking at the terminals, you get 160 per platform. It's a lot more than a building, so actually we don't need that. So we're holding on, but we will not hold on to that for long because we need to match the production here. We're now at 63, and I think that's going to go up. It surely has to go up because the amount of steel we're going to be getting from this line is going to be close to 100. Well, it will be 100 because we've got more than capacity. So let's match our machines capacity up here. So we're going to duplicate this train here, and that gets our rate to 133. So for every steel coming this way, we've matched it in terms of the machines to take away, which makes sense. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So they are perfectly balanced, and they always will be. They're going to the same destination, those two lines, with the same type of trains, with the same number of wagons. So why would it be any different? So when we get to here, we still need to take those 100 machines away to Hamburg. So we have a little Hamburg train that does this little jaunty journey here, and that currently only has a rate of 37. So within our connecting line, that is a problem. Now we could actually run the machines line this way. You know what, I don't know why I run it into there, because that machines line, no, you know what, I'm picking up tools. It's picking up tools and it's picking up machines. So there's absolutely loads waiting on that line there, look. It's not only got to meet the demand of 100 coming from there, we've also got this factory here, which is producing 64 currently, up to 100. And they've got to be taken around this corner here to Hamburg, where it is further distributed onward. So the Hamburg machines line, this needs to be a much bigger train. In fact, it needs to be a different train entirely, I think. So we're going to get rid of the old loco. We're going to put a Borsig on there, and we're going to go to 15, capacity of 60 on there. That's going to get our rate to 110, which is much healthier. We're going to be able to get a lot more out of this station here. And this station is quickly becoming a cargo hub, and we may have to look after it a bit better in terms of this wacky layout we've got going over here. And we originally, when we go around this corner there, to save money going over this way, but we might have to cut that across. We may have to cut across there for efficiency reasons in the future, but we've got a rate of 123 at the moment. Where is that train? Here it is. So let's have a look at this train, because I've not done enough of this in this series. I don't know if you feel like there's good value, but you can see we've got 44 tools on their way on the road, and we have 16 machines. So you can see we're already full, and there is quite a lot here. Now, this factory is producing 64. It's trying to get 58 just to Hamburg at the moment. Now, does Berlin have a demand? It does have a demand, but we do not get connected in that demand. Hence why it is limiting itself. Oh, it's not limiting itself because... Ooh, okay. So Amsterdam is trying to ship 100 to there. And at the moment we're only transporting 50%, which is holding back our tools. And we could easily lose 100 tools in Hamburg before we even get anywhere near Berlin. So that is a challenge for us. So let's try and see where the problem is down here. So we are at this plank factory, which has upgraded to a level 2, is now capable of producing 400. It is being supplied 800, almost 800 from Duisburg and Köln. Slight problem getting all of it from here. We are not keeping up with the demand there, and we could maybe do with more boats. Maybe do with more boats into Amsterdam, but that does not seem to be the problem, because 80% of 400, that's probably 320, it's 720. We could definitely be producing about 360 here, I think. And our shipment demand is only 200, so we're trying to ship to 2 places, and at Bremen we are not meeting, we're not getting it all there. So let's have a look. First of all, Amsterdam Planks is only shipping 310, but we are only producing 287. The shipment demand is 200, so there's only ever going to be 200 coming out of there. So that is not the problem at the moment. We've probably overdone it with what's coming out there. We're not getting 300 out. Don't seem to be demanding it yet. Coming down to here, Meppen Steel Planks again, 133. Now 100 of those planks is coming here, and only 100 is going, and 100 is going onwards. So we should be able to do it. I'm not sure why they're not all getting there. And then we get down to here. Maybe this is where the bottleneck is. We have our Bremen planks line, which has got a rate of 115, but, and here's the problem, it's having to split its load half and half. So it's only taking half of 115 because it's got 2 different types of wagon on it, which means that it's probably only supplying about 60. And I think that is where the problem in terms of getting the planks to there is. We have a bit of a traffic problem here. You can see the ore trains are queuing up, and we have 2 trains here waiting to go. Oh my lordy, what's going on here? We have a total logjam. This train cannot proceed. Why? This train is going to over there, but it appears this train is blocking it. How odd. Oh dear. Just getting rid of that signal seems to have freed that up. So that is a problem. We have come to a complete standstill due to that. You can see here the train in question, which we were discussing before. But we have bigger fish to fry now because this train has got no way of getting back. And it has stopped. Why is it stopped there? Is there need to be a signal here? Is that why? Is it waiting for... Let's put him on just in front of there. Is that going to... Yep, that's going to allow it to go forward. So because there was a train there, it stopped. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh dear, dear, dear. So that train's going to get moving. That's going to allow us to free up some space here. But I think we're going to need to expand this platform. Because we've got coal and ore coming in here. But we've got quite a few steel trains going out now. We've got planks and machines coming out. There's absolutely loads going on here. But it was flowing quite well before. It's just this small problem had cropped up. Now, one of the things I'm thinking of is if we put in another track here, we can cut out this corner. We've got the money to do it now. 7 million should be enough. And then we can make this route actually more efficient. Have a second bridge that comes to the right. We may use this triangle, who knows. But actually that line is really more about the direct connection over to the west from Hamburg. So let's see if we can solve that before this train comes out. So we're going to configure this and add some new tracks. And this is going to hit the eastern direction. I am going to pause it because I don't want to race and make more mistakes. So we want to go and join the track over here somewhere. So what I'm thinking is we'll just come off here. About there, I think. So we're heading over there for a bridge in that direction. Let's see how expensive this bridge is. It is astonishingly cheap. What? 255,000 is nothing. What? These... I don't understand. Now, I would like to make it at least navigable underneath a little bit. And that has only really increased the price. You know, you've got to say marginally. And that can bring us... I mean, for 500,000? I can't believe that. That is so cheap. Compared to this is a really long and curved and high bridge. I don't understand. But I'm not complaining. Because that is going to allow us to connect our line in here. Now, I'm not going to bother connecting it to anything else. Because this will just be... At this point, it will just be for our beautiful... I need to configure the station. That's why I can't see it. This is just going to be for this specific... Let's get the platforms. Just this specific line. Oh, that's bad placement. Delete that. So we have now a specific platform for our Hamburg tools and machines line. So we need to manage the line and say that the terminal, go on number 6, that moves the whole thing onto our new line here. We get rid of any of our warnings and we're ready to go again. So I love it. Well, look at the density. I love the density of infrastructure. This is like what you expect to see with a bustling railway. Bridges everywhere, routes that on top of routes. If you've ever been to London in the United Kingdom and seen the absolute plethora of infrastructure there, it's beautiful. And this is what we have. So we have our train coming over now. It can take a new route. We now have a rate of 178. So that is a big, big jump. I think it was about 120 before. With that new route, and that is going to relieve some of the traffic into this station here. It's also moved some of the cargo out here. So 178 is probably what we want to get to with this one here. Now I'm tempted with this train, rather than bringing it across the coal and ore traffic as it is now, Or do we have the space for it? I'm just wondering if we could... Now, we can't put a platform down that side. Would be good if we ran a little line along the side, a third line, and just maybe tucked it in here for it to use either of those platforms. It would still be sharing with the ore line, but it is getting incredibly busy on this line at the moment, and we do have trains queuing up, which is costing us dearly. But maybe we're just suffering the after effects of having this line completely backed up. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. But yeah, I like the idea of a bi-directional goods line with one train up here. But this one train's not going to be enough. It's just not enough. I mean, there's currently 12 wagons on. Is it 12 or 16? This train currently has 16 wagons on it. It is at the maximum, and it's got a rate of 184, so that has jumped up. Maybe all this traffic was causing a problem. It is waiting at the end of the platform here, so it could do with a signal here that allows it to come right out. And then it crosses over here. Now, the other option we have is we could put a little crossover bridge, bring the crossover onto the right-hand side, and run that into this platform, which it would share with this one. Now, we have some space to do that. It would keep this line clear for the coal and the ore trains, because this is going to get, you can see now, this train's not going to get to move very soon. Or it's going to block the other trains coming in. Yep, so that train's got to wait now. And if another train comes in the direction, it's going to be waiting. Oh no, it's got a clear signal, which means this train's going to wait. So you can see how this is going to back up here. And we've got a lot of trains delivering a lot of ore, and we're going to need more, to be fair. We are not done. So one option we have is we could go underneath, or we can go over the top, bring out our bi-directional line out to here and utilize this right hand side. I could move everything over to the right. I could do that. But I like bridges, you know. I like a bridge. Who doesn't like a bridge? Although saying that, this is a long train, and it does look like it's struggling a bit already. The gradient might not be an option. If I keep it on the left, I could give it a platform on the left-hand side, and then I would have to run this double track down to here and move the coal and ore lines on there. I think that would be a better option. As much as I love bridges, let's run this line over here. Now then, how should we do this? So we've got another line here. We'll run the double track with it. Up to there. So we now have a four track section that runs clear. Not there. And then what we can do is at this point here, I'm just going to pause the game. What we want to do is we want to run this track into this one, and then run this track into here, so we can move this back a bit. We'll reconfigure this to go into here, like there. So now we have this whole extra section, which is just for the coal line. We've got the ore line, which is coming out here, and that is going to run into that line somewhere around here, where we can leave this line to freely run into these two, you see. So now the machines line has a pretty much straight run to there. We can bring these lines over now. I think we're going to go back a little bit further, and then we'll cross these over here. Oh, there's a bit of stray track left there. Let's get rid of that. So we'll drop this over here. Try and use this curvature if we can. It doesn't like the length of that, I don't think. So if I do it there. Does that connect in? We're connected in there. And from here then we do exactly the same. So this is the point that the two lines merge, and we just need to sort out some signals on the way in. So we need a signal protecting on that side there, we need a signal protecting there, and we need a signal protecting on the entrances to that junction. Now we need some good block sections really for allowing of, and we need to finish the end of that track as well, but we can put in plenty of signals here to allow more trains, more density of trains I should say, and we can get rid these little sections in there. So that's looking good. All trains are able to use that. They come across, they come along their new line, which does at the moment is not going to allow them to go anywhere. So let's move that train back a bit, and then we can connect in these tracks here. Now we do have the problem at the moment in that we have trains on the wrong side of the track, so we will need to put in some temporary crossovers. So maybe deleting that wasn't the best idea. If we can I snap to that? We need to be able to get trains off those. There's some stray steam. Look at that. The train's gone back and it's left the steam behind. It's quite funny. There you go. Insert your own image there. Right. Okay. So what we need is we need to get rid of that. So we do need a way for these trains to be able to get across to there for the time being. So we can put a crossover onto the main track there. Now that doesn't solve the whole problem, I think, because this train has a no path the opposite direction, which is back that way. So we need another track. Let's find the right place to do that. Looking at the signals, we can pop that across there. I don't know what's happened there. Okay, that seems to have solved the problem, but we could not connect those stations. Oh. No, we could not connect. So the OR line is a problem because it's still going to here. So we have. Oh, what do we want to do here? So the train's coming this way on this track, but it might use that platform there. And that, see, that undoes a lot of the hard work maybe. So this train's coming along, put us along to here. It's got two whole platforms to use for itself. That's fine because we can put some reverse direction stuff going north on those platforms as well. We have one platform for the coal line, one platform for the ore line, and one for our new tools. So what we need to do is sort that out. So we'll manage this line, and we'll put you on terminal. Oh, I can't really see the lines. It's at 3. I want to put the ore line onto terminal 3, but you can also use 4, I'm going to say, and 5. That's fine. And then we'll use the coal line and we'll put you onto terminal 5 and say use 345. That seems to work. So now let's just double check. We'll run through the line. The coal line is running beautifully, and the ore line comes up to here, crosses over, merges with the coal line and into the station. Lovely jubbly. Then what we want to do is just deconflict a bit really here. So in terms of terminals, we've got nothing on 1. So Meppen steel planks can shoot over to 1. We want a Hamburg tools and machinery to be on 2, I think. Yes. Ore line could be shared with another because there's nothing waiting. And the Hamburg tools and machines needs to be number 6, not there. Wow, I've swapped the wrong one around. Okay. So there's nothing on 2 currently. Now one of the ones that goes north, which one's that one? We've got the Meppen steel and planks and the Meppen to Hamburg machines. I think that's the one we want on 2. And let's manage that line because at the moment it's got a problem. So the Meppen to Hamburg machines, yeah, it's well, what's the problem? It doesn't like using that additional platform there, these 2 here, which is fine. They're going to be full with coal and ore. And then not that one. Meppen steel and planks is also using those 2 lines, which is fine. So just looking at this, is there anything that's really underutilized? The coal and the ore potentially could be used for going north, but it's not a very long platform. Those 2 are coming in here. Where's the steel? Where's the where is it the Bremen planks line? Where are you going to? I would like you to go to number... Really, this should be going to number 1. That's what we want. That was the final piece in the puzzle, and you can see now that line. Oh, I've lost it. Let's find it again. It's a terrible colour. Let's give it pink. That line, you can see, is now on that left-hand side all the way through, and it comes in to Terminal 1. And we can say to it to use 1 or 2. So that seems like a good distribution for here. We spent basically a whole episode on this one trying to sort out this, but it has become quite a busy and important cargo hub for us with the amount of machines and tools we're trying to get shipped through here. So with that in motion, we have the opportunity now to duplicate this train. And that's going to send out another train from here, which is going to join the fray, and hopefully we have the capacity for it, because we need to have a rate on this Bremen planks line. We've got 368 now, so we've definitely improved that, or at least the estimation is that we've improved it. It's going to go south now and hopefully collect some tools, of which there are 29 waiting to go, which is good. And our coal line, our coal train, is making its way to the correct line, so that is going to help once that gets going. For there, yeah, it's starting to feel good. I mean, there's some things that are a bit all over the place still, but it's starting to look like a busy line. And I feel like once these trains are all on the correct line, we'll see some real serious throughput. So this train is making its way onto the correct line now, the ore train. And that is going to clear a path for the machines and tools train, or well, the planks and tools train, which is now heading south with planks ready to go. Yeah, this should mean we get a higher production from here, because we should be, I mean, with the 368, I mean, half of that was 184. 184 is really what we should be maxing out at in terms of what we could do. So we do want this to level up, because you know, we would like to see it. We would like to see another factory leveled up here and bringing in more tools. So it needs the planks. The planks are on the way, and hopefully that will increase the transported percentage for this one here. We're at 63% now. There's nowhere else for this factory to go, but our production, wow, our production is at 392, so we are maxed out. We just really need the downward stream demand to come from the machines factory and the tools factory. So machines wise, we are up to, well, we're getting close to 80 now. We've got another load of steel coming in, and we've still got steel on the go. So we're almost at that level where we will do that, and I think that is going to increase our shipment demand. We still have not delivered anything to Potsdam, which is baffling to me. We have a goods wagon on the way. We do have stuff waiting to go to Potsdam, 10 tools waiting, as well as loads of bread, and that may well be the reason this train only has a capacity of 24 and a rate of 50. I wonder what's been trying to be shipped to Potsdam. So what did we say? If we go to the, or let's go to the tools wise. It's not tools, the machines factory. We're trying to consume 26 is being sent, and we've got a rate of 50, remember, on the train currently. We also have bread from our super bread factory over here, which we haven't even looked at in this episode. Is at level 3, looking swish, but it is also trying to supply 54. So the combination of those two gets us to an 80, trying to be supplied to Potsdam. And we have currently a train which can do 50, so that is not going to cut it. So let's configure this train, because we could do more with it. How many before we get to pour on the old type? So we can go there. Capacity of 48. That gets us to 55. Still not that great, to be honest. So what we might do, let's ditch the old D13, I'm sorry to say, and we'll stick on a few more. Yes, so a few more wagons on there, and that gets us rate to 74, which should be able to keep this station here clear. We have stuff waiting to go to Berlin, but we have loads of wagons on the road to do that. Potsdam wise, here we have just the one truck trying to do that. Remember, we've got 74 coming in, so we definitely need to increase the number of wagons here. So we'll duplicate those. Now at 42, 63, one more should do it. So we'll now hopefully be able to supply Potsdam with everything she needs. And there's loads of bread coming in. All looking rather good. This train here is our train collecting really machines to come back south. Now, I think we are going to get a build-up of machines waiting to go south to Berlin, because when everything starts flowing this way, it's going to shift it all downstream. And you can see this train here is waiting for a free path. Okay, so we made a bypass. There's no signal on that side, which is a terrible idea. got 2 signals here. Oh no, it's all going wrong. Ah! So I suppose one of the things we could do, we have machines and tools going to Berlin. Now, why is this train stopped again? It's waiting for a free path. It must believe that that train is in its path. I mean, it's gone past that signal. That train is coming, but it's absolutely miles away. We put a signal ahead of this junction here. Is that going to allow that train to come through? It will. Now, that is weird. But anyway, so we do have a train dropping off to go to Hamburg and then on to Berlin. We could go direct. Come across there, use this bypass and head down there. We would need to, well, would we need to? We'd have one train that just did Hamburg and back, and another train that went to here, but this is already a busy stop. I mean, I think we've solved the problem at the moment. I don't think we're going to have too many issues with the signal, so we'll keep it as is. See how we get on. We have the bypass in place. The signals were all over the place. I'm not really sure what I was doing there. I mean, I didn't really put any signals on, to be honest. And then we have a signal coming in. That one's going to drop off. Not as yet bringing anything back, but it will eventually be bringing bread, which this train will also be bringing. Now, this train, like I say, is a rate of 44. Which we are going to need to increase if we're going to get everything delivered to Berlin in terms of machines. At the moment though they're just not there, but we hopefully have solved the issue. Look, we've got loads waiting to go. 112, 188, that is going to start ramping up when this train starts moving. So we do need to probably at least put some passing loops, or potentially double track this whole section all the way down to Berlin. We're getting quite a cross-country railway here. So we already have this double section here coming out of the Berlin cargo station. So really all we have to do is continue that. Which is made rather easy by the generous signal there. So basically we can just drag this all along. I wonder if I can do it in like one piece. All the way. I've got some kind of bridge pillar collision going on. Some weird things happening. I mean, what? It's not quite snapping over that distance. Over this distance we're fine. Still fine there. So that's going to cost me 900,000 to build all that way. There is a bit of jeopardy building like that, because if you build it wrong, it's going to take an absolute age to demolish that, which I do not want to experience. So we'll continue on in sections now, because this is a long old railway we've got going on. And we come to the end here. Now then, we've basically got a double track section here, but it starts to narrow over this section. So we just move that train forward, give it a little shove, and then stick that in there. Perfect. Although that doesn't look too narrow there. So there we go. So that's there. But when we come out of here, we need a way to go back on this side here. Too much slope. I think this track narrows a bit too much here. So I'm just going to rebuild that section. Make sure it's running parallel. And then I want to move it over to here. And then we need to start putting in some signals. So we're going to make these one way. And then we can start to put in some block sections. So we'll use the level crossings. Some sections. I mean, it's a really long old track, so I'm not making them too close together because I don't think the trains will actually be that close together. Get to that junction there, put a signal in to protect it. Same here. And then one there as well. And then one there. So looking at that, I think we're all set up. We've got 2 tracks there. We've got no warnings currently. And we have the ability to run 2 of these trains in. So I really want to get, let's think about Berlin. We're trying to ship tools wise. Where's our machines factory? Not that one. This one. So from here, oh wow, we're really ramping up here. It's just the transport we need to do. We are trying to ship 27, only 27? Only 27 machines currently out of 100, but that is going to go up. And we are, in terms of tools, we are trying to ship 6. So, you know, 30 is probably keeping up, but I think we're going to increase that soon. Because the demand, surely the demand, I mean, we're splitting it out of 100 to 3 destinations, but the demand from Berlin is 115 plus 9, so 124. And we also have the machines here of 51. So it's 170 near enough, wants to go to Potsdam and Berlin. So this line has got to cut the mustard really. So we've got a rate of 44 with our current wagon. I think 2 more trains should meet the demand we need. I'm going to spare a little bit of time because at the moment we have nothing waiting at the actual platform. Everything's going to Hamburg. Nothing's going onward from there yet. But the time will come. More steel is on the way to the planks factory. We are producing 100 now. Everything is being delivered from its suppliers. It's just to level this up. We just need to start delivering to the different destinations. Hamburg is suffering a little bit. We're not delivering everything to Hamburg. We don't have anywhere near the number of wagons we need on here. So Hamburg, I'm going to double those vehicles because we need to get this cleared. And obviously when the train drops off, it drops an absolutely massive load, which then has to be slowly taken away by the cart. So this is where warehouses actually really come in, where you've got wagons and you've got trains interfacing with each other. The warehouses really, really do help. So that will stop some of the loss that we're getting here, because this train here is going to drop loads, which is going to completely overload this platform while we have these horses coming in their dribs and drabs taking it away. So this is where the warehouses really do work for us. Yeah, so we're not currently using both lines here, so we need to make sure that's set up. The trains drop to load off. It's we've got loads sat now on the platform and in the warehouse. We need these wagons to start taking away pretty quick before that train gets back. But we've now got some on the platform to go to Berlin as well. So that is working nicely. So our transport percentage is still really low. We've not done anything to Potsdam yet. I suspect that is because of the number of wagons we had on this line. Again, we're dropping off by train here, and then we've got a tiny little platform to hold all of that. So this one could definitely utilize a warehouse or two. I want to put a couple on there because it fits between the road. And that gives us a little bit of capacity here to bridge the gap. And now that we've got the number of wagons we need, we should be able to keep that get that transport percentage up. The transport percentage only goes up when these little guys get delivered to their final destination. So they've really got to make their way the whole way, all the way from over here, all the way down to here. And it's only when they land at one of these little buildings, or where's the industrial one? One of these little buildings, do you actually see your transport percentage go up. So it can take a long time. If you're thinking about leveling up your factories, it can take a long time, especially with the length. I mean, we're shipping, our line goes from there all the way east to Hamburg, then comes down from Hamburg, well, in fact it goes near Bremen, over to Hamburg, and then down here to Berlin, where it gets transferred to Potsdam. So it is an absolutely mammoth journey that we're having to deal with there, and it will take some time for that transport percentage to go up, but never fear, it will go up. We also have Berlin to contend with, but we now have the trains that can do it. Very good. Okay. So we're coming to the end of this episode now. I mean, the main thing I wanted to do was solve the traffic problem at this station and this cargo hub. Well, it is becoming a natural cargo hub. I know some people have said that we should do more cargo hub type stuff, but this has naturally happened. I like an organic style of playing this game, and we have an organic cargo hub formed. The traffic flow is much better. We've got a busy railway station here with lots of trains coming in and out, but things do seem to be flowing, which is all rather good. Yes, look at it go. So that's how we started the episode. We had some problems, but we've added loads more track. We have a 4-track section of railway here running out. And yeah, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it beautiful? It's a lovely thing. So what should we tackle in the next episode of this German transport empire? That's what I want to hear from you. Hit me down in the comments, and if you haven't already done so, give us a like and a subscribe. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, like I've had a nice stollen in my belly. Right, I'll see you in the next episode. Look after yourselves. Bye bye.